Hello, I'm Congressman Brad Winstrup. I want to thank you for taking time to observe Veterans Day with us and recognize our troops who have served this nation over the years. For some, this day, this year, may be the beginning of a 3-day weekend to see family or simply to enjoy some time off. For others, it's a reminder to put out an American flag and thank the veteran that they see in the checkout line at the grocery store or out on the street. But for many Americans, this day can be very personal. It may be the memory of that jittery feeling of holding up your homemade sign waiting for your mom or dad, your husband or wife, or your son or daughter to emerge from a sea of uniforms and come running towards you for that first hug. It might be the deep breath you took when your feet touched U.S. soil and for the first time in many months, or in some cases years, you were not worrying about who was trying to kill you. You felt safe. For me, it's the faces and names of those I served with and all those whom we served. It's the Marine praying his rosary as we took his friend into the operating room. It's the Iraqi interpreters who served alongside us so faithfully. It's my fellow caregivers. I think of them often and hear from many of them. They are what, and more importantly, who Veterans Day is about. Americans don't just wear the uniform for our nation. They do it for each other. We serve for each other and on behalf of each and every citizen of the United States of America. As President Ronald Reagan once said, if we look to the answer as to why for so many years we have achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because here in this land we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay the price. Let's never forget those who willingly step forward to shoulder that duty and privilege. Today, I'd like our country to take a collective pause. I'd like for each of us to stop, look up to the sun and sky above us, and count the many freedoms and rights we are able to exercise without thinking every single day. Let us each strive to make sure that those freedoms are never taken from us. Remember to feel deep gratitude for the many gifts we enjoy, simply due to the privilege of being citizens of this great country and the sacrifices that fellow Americans have made on our behalf in order to maintain that privilege. Today is personal. We each have the individual responsibility to steward well what we have been given. Today and every day, we have a responsibility to honor those who were honored to sacrifice of themselves for others. St. Pope John Paul II, when visiting our United States, once said, "Freedom consists not in doing what we like, but having the right to do what we ought." As one American POW once wrote on the wall of a confinement cell, freedom has a taste to it, to those who fight and almost die, that the protected will never know. Have a happy Veterans Day. Thank you.
Veterans Day is an opportunity to honor Americans who have answered the call to serve, whether in times of peace or in times of war. Those who have sacrificed their safety, their time, and so much more in the name of America's freedom and security. And we are so fortunate that so many of our veterans call Alaska home. They are our friends, they're our family, our coworkers, neighbors. They're profiles of commitment and courage and strength and perseverance. And today, we honor them for their devotion to duty. And we also thank the families of our veterans because we know that their lives have been deeply impacted by the duty of their loved ones. My deepest gratitude goes out to all those who have fought and served honorably. We owe each of them a sincere thank you for the lives that we live today and the freedoms that they protect. God bless.
Hello, I'm Congressman Brian Babin, representative of the 36th Congressional District. On November the 11th, 1918, the Allied powers received Germany's surrender, finally bringing the Great War, World War I, to a close. The streets of America and their ally nations around the world were full of those celebrating a hard-fought victory that countless had sacrificed all for. This day was known as Armistice Day. In 1938, Armistice Day was officially observed as a federal holiday. Each year since, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, patriots come together to celebrate America's brave protectors, past and present. Armistice Day would later be changed to Veterans Day. As the son of a World War II veteran, a veteran myself, and the father of a decorated Navy SEAL, I have a deep-rooted admiration for our great U.S. military. But no matter if you have family who served or not, we should all be overwhelmed with gratitude for those who fought, defended, and sacrificed so that our country, so that you can remain free. The willingness to fight and die for a stranger or a nation and an ideal of freedom should never be taken for granted, and I pray that we never do. I pray that our appreciation for America's veterans only grows with the years, and that we pass on that recognition to new generations. It's up to each one of us to ensure that history is not repeated, our founding principles are not forgotten, and our love of country will live on. Ronald Reagan once said, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction." We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. No one understands this truth more than our veterans. I promise to continue using my position in Congress to serve those who have served us. To all of our current and former soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, guardians, and coasties, I gratefully and humbly say, thank you and happy Veterans Day. May God bless you.
Happy Veterans Day. Today, we reflect on the service and sacrifice of our nation's veterans, those who have answered our country's call to serve and to defend our freedoms and our way of life. America is the greatest country on earth, and it's not even close. And as Americans, it is our right to pray as we wish, speak freely, and fly our great flag. We are blessed to be Americans and to enjoy these freedoms. But we must never forget, we are the land of the free because of the brave. So, to our veterans in Iowa and across the country, I want to say thank you. We are indebted to you, and we will never fully be able to repay you for your service and your sacrifice. So my promise to every Iowa veteran is I will be relentless in my efforts to ensure that you receive the full scope of care and benefits that you've earned. So whether it's for physical wounds or emotional scars, you deserve the best possible care. And I will never give up on ensuring that you receive it. That is my commitment to you. Thank you so much to those who have served our country. Today and every day, we honor you.